Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Wednesday, guys. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Wednesday, guys. So I'm responding to an email from a good sis who wanted me to make a recording on why is healing so hard? Why does healing hurt? So she's in an intentional healing season and she's going through it, honey. And so I figured I would go over 10 things, which it could be 100. But for the sake of time, I chose 10 on why healing is hard. I want to say this before I start. Congrats to you because it does take an intentional decision. You will be surprised of how many people refuse to heal even when they know they're toxic. So you have to give God something to work with, right? So let's start. Number one, like yourself, you have to admit that you're toxic. Listen, at the end of the day, we all have our demons. We all have our stuff. People can say what they want to say. People can say what they want to say. But every single person has some type of vices, some type of demons they're fighting with. I don't care. Demons are not some spooky thing that religion has made people. Listen, you got demons, you got addictions, you got this, you got that. Everybody has some type of demon until you get that thing under control, period, right? So you have to admit it. So congrats to you there. Number two, no more excuses. God will literally not allow you to hide behind excuses anymore. That can look like, I don't know how to be a faithful man because I've never seen it modeled before me. My father wasn't there. Or I'm angry, right? I'm angry and I'm full of rage because my parents were crackheads and I had to fend for self and I'm just mad with the world. That can look like, it's okay for me to emasculate men and disrespect men because I saw my mama do it, all that nonsense, right? So you literally can't make any more excuses. It's almost like, listen, it happened. The trauma happened. This happened. I'm sorry it happened. Should have never happened, but it happened. Yes, it changed you. Trauma changes the brain. However, what are we going to do about it now? No more excuses. What are we going to do about it now? Right? So it's that type of thing. Number three, you will be disciplined in the very area that you're toxic or the area of struggle. So let's just say you are the angry person who's full of rage. I'm talking about like these people like who turn over tables and stuff. Like seriously, they're on a whole nother level, right? Be expected to be put in situations like that. Let me just tell you guys, right? I've been very transparent about patience not being my strong point. I prayed for patience, didn't know, right? 16 years ago, just randomly, just speaking, right? Because I don't know what happened. I was like, God, can you just please give me some patience? Why can I just have patience? Honey, you got to be very careful what you ask God for, especially when you kind of tapped in a certain kind of way, right? I just assumed He would just give me patience. I'm still tested every day, 16 years later. Granted, if I have to grade myself, I'm probably like 85%. 85%, I'm B plus. Considering I used to be a D minus, right? So it's gradual, but He will place you in the environments. Like just yesterday, I'm driving home and there's somebody in front of me who's got to be doing 10 miles per hour. The other lanes are free to go. So I got my signal light on. You ain't going nowhere. Right? Lord, come on. I had to stay behind that car, an older lady, when every other lane was clear for me to go. Right? So you will be, and I passed that test. I'm so proud of myself. Right? Okay. So you will be tested in the very area. So expect to be placed in situations that's going to be nerve-wracking, but He will tap you to remind you that this is a test. And honestly, you're going to probably feel that test a lot. There's going to be a grace, right? Don't judge yourself because remember, you're going to be tested over and over. So you're probably going to fail the test, but you will be retested. Trust me, over and over until you get to the point where you master it or it's no longer something that's causing you to miss certain blessings. Number 5, he's going to remove your protective guards. This is very, very, very difficult. And protective guards those are things that you yourself have put in place to protect yourself that nobody can't hurt you. No one can ever get close to you again. Whatever you place that you're going to protect yourself, honey, that's coming down, because he has to teach you that you can't. First of all, who are we? We can't protect ourselves. Look at this crazy world. We cannot protect ourselves. So God will disarm you, right? That's surrender. God will literally disarm you so he can teach you that he will protect you no matter what, in spite of, not you. So those protective guards will come down and you will feel extremely vulnerable. Next one, number 5, he will remove the mask, right? Whatever you're masking that trauma and that pain and that toxic behavior with, that can look like drugs, that can look like alcohol, that can look like porn, sex, whatever you're doing, food, sweets, whatever you're, sodas, whatever you're doing, whatever that addiction. And yes, addiction is more than just drugs. Again, you got people they're so caught up in their own world that they can judge everybody else. Okay, well, you're a crackhead, you're a meth head, you're a weed head, and here you can't leave food alone, right? So again, we all have our demons, we all have our vices, period. But he will remove that, because think about it, you're healing. So in order to heal, anything that you do to mask that pain. So if you're sitting there smoking weed all day, or you're whatever you're doing all day, you don't even realize, but a lot of times it's soothing that trauma. So you're masking it. Where in healing, you have to he will remove the mask, meaning whatever he's about to pull up, it can be some past traumas, it can be childhood, it can be things that he showed you from when you were in 2nd grade. He's going to show you the things in your heart, and you're going to be, You're going to be, you're going to want to grab that ice cream. You're going to want to grab the weed. You're going to want to grab the alcohol. You're going to want to grab something, because that feeling is coming up, right? Because you have to relive the trauma. So now that feeling is coming up, you want to grab the Bud Light, because it's time to, wait a minute, I feel this thing, let me mask it. No. He is going to expose and uproot the trauma, and you yourself is not going to be able to touch anything to mask it. You have to feel the trauma in order for him to uproot it and expel it. That's hard. So you have no protective guards, you have nothing to mask it with. All you have is your trauma. See why healing hurts? So a lot of people will start the process, and when they start realizing it's like, oh, wait a minute now, right? I'm used to kind of blocking this thing out, so it hurts. See this, y'all, this is why I try my best not to count, because I lose the number count. Next one, listen. You're going to be thrown in the wilderness. There's just no way around it. You're going to be thrown in the wilderness, right? You have to be alone in your healing process. God has to really, really work with you one-on-one, because many times the people who you're around is sometimes some of the same people who've traumatized you. So many times God has to really get you in a season, right, where it's just you and God in the trauma, and he has to work with you from there. So yeah, you're going to be thrown in the wilderness / lonely season / isolation season. Next one, I said this earlier, speaking about something else, but yeah, you're going to have to feel the trauma. You're going to have to feel it. So whoever violated you, whoever rejected you, whoever abandoned you, whoever beat you up, whoever did what, you have to literally feel that trauma. And then to top it off, it's like God is going to literally require you to start working on forgiveness. Because think about it. The person who traumatized you, the person who hurt you in whatever way, right? You probably developed some type of something for that person, right? So now he's going to work on your forgiveness process, because once he expel it, right, then the person's going to start coming up. So he's going to then have you to start working on your forgiveness process all caps, process. And then you're going to feel like, well, this is unfair, because it's almost like I wasn't the wrong one. They were the wrong one. Don't worry about that. You're the one who's going through a healing process. God will deal with them however he deals with them. But right now, he's working on healing you. Next one. He will not allow you to give up on yourself, right? Because it's something, again, about when you enter something, almost like me and the patience thing. Again, I asked for it, not realizing what it all entails, the test, et cetera, et cetera. But then when, in the middle of it, I'm just like, God, I don't even want patience again. Never mind. Like, seriously, never mind. I'll just, but he won't even let you go back on it. So it feels like you're stuck, right? You're stuck. So you don't have a choice but to master your healing process. So he won't let you give up on yourself. It's like you want to run back, but you just can't. So you're in this thing, right? Period. Next one. It's hard because you're going against the grain. You're doing things different, right? This is not your default. Your default setting is flipping tables over when you're mad. So you're having to go against the grain of the very thing that you know. Period. Number 10. Listen, this truly happens. I don't know if everybody will have to do it, but he will send you. Okay, so when he work on your forgiveness process, like once he really teach you, and guys, listen, please understand. Don't let people tell you, anybody for that matter, that forgiveness is something that happens overnight or should happen overnight. Right? You acknowledge that it needs to and it should, because forgiveness truly frees you. You hear people say that, like, it's almost like it's said so much that it's so cliche. Forgiveness is for you, not for the other person. It is absolutely true. Forgiveness frees you of all that toxin and all that stuff that you're holding against the person. It's not that you're friends with the person. If you're wise, you might want to stay away from the person if the person is still a certain type of way, right? Or in general, me just being the person I am, listen, I forgive you truly. I no longer want to, bust your head to the white meat, but I don't want you in my space. It only takes one time for me to get burned. Like, seriously, I don't know what it is about me with that. One time for me to get burned. So he will send you sometimes back to the very person who've hurt you the most to bless them. He will send you back to the very person who've hurt you the most to bless them. In different ways. In different ways, you may randomly run into your ex at a gas station or something. God may say, right? You want that little side eye start creeping up, right? And then God just say something like, go over there and start a conversation and just say, hey, it's a beautiful day. Just so you can let them know that you no longer, side-eyeing them. You no longer have this disdain for them. Go and have this conversation first. And you're, I thought I was healed from this. Why I gotta go back? Sometimes he sends you back to free the person. He freed you, but now it may free the person. Do you know how many people are here who are stuck in addictions and things like that because they hurt somebody or someone left them and it's like a regret? So they regret, man, and so they're holding on to this lingering thing and they're not free because they hurt you. So sometimes God will send you back so you can free them because he freed you. And again, that does not mean the person is back in your life. It's just his ways are not always, honey. And let me just tell you. But when it's all said and done, sis, when you master this, and again, everybody processes different, but whenever you master this process, and you're not going to be perfect. Let's be clear here. You're not going to be perfect, but you're going to be free. Whenever you master this process, watch how blessings literally chase you down. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.